Well, greetings once again. And this time I have a different type of product that I've never really reviewed before on my channel. So you know that this channel highly regards quality filtration out of vacuums that can provide such a thing, say HEPA, H10, H11. Well, this product is from Cleantech. It has a whole bunch of features here. So many, I decided to put them down on a piece of paper and read them to you. So we have, as I'm unboxing this thing, let's see, ozone free, 2 fan speeds, that's always nice. Noise level, you know what, we can check that. It says between 45 and 58 decibels. Doesn't say at what distance or whether or not it was dBA or dBc. Oh, let's see. It uses AC from the wall. You can go ahead and plug it in and it will use about 38 watts of power. See, hopefully is that it? Or with the little security tape right here. Pull that tab out. 2-stage HEPA H11 grade filter. And it's got a 254 nanometer UVC germicidal light. So it's not just like a vacuum cleaner with like H11, that just filters the air. It also kills the germs. We all know how important germ killing can definitely be these days. All right, so here's the manual. Looks like they have it in Chinese and English. And here's the main unit. Come on out. Any day now. And let's see, we have a cord. I think that probably is going to be it. Yeah, that's it. So we can get this packing material out of the way. That's what the manual looks like. The HEPA filter is designed to last 6 to 12 months, probably depending on how dirty your home air is, and then it would need to be replaced. It's a replaceable HEPA filter. And the UVC light is designed to last about 16,000 hours, I have here, or about 24 months. Now this will depend on usage, obviously. This unit is rated to run 24/7. So let's see what we have here. Let me read this on the bottom. Nothing unusual here. Weight 2.7 kilograms, 38 watts. This has the removable feet here. In order to get to the HEPA filter, these are just long bolts. Come right out. No tools required. Bottom comes off. And here is the HEPA filter. In fact, this one, I'm going to say it looks kind of charcoal-y in there. That's what it seems to be. It might just be dark in color, but it seems to be kind of charcoal-ish. And there's a UVC light in here. I see that. All right, let me bring this a little bit closer. Suitable for spaces up to 200 square feet. Specially designed air vortex chamber to minimize UV exposure, because you don't want to be exposed to UVC light. This is UVC type C light, and a warranty manufacturer of 1 year. Okay, let me get you in a little bit closer so you can see what I'm seeing. Let's take a closer look at the HEPA filter. See what I mean by kind of like a charcoal-ish look? So replaceable, and links will be in the description. if you're interested in purchasing this unit, you can see the UVC lamp right here goes all the way down. It's a long thing, goes all the way down there. And that is user replaceable. So other than that, there's not really that much to this unit. I mean, obviously there's a fan in there, and here's where you would insert the cord so you can plug it in. Now, I don't have a way in my lab to figure out how many, say, microorganisms get destroyed with this UVC light. However, I do have a high quality sound meter, and I can measure the sound that this thing produces. And I also have a high quality 3-channel particle meter. So we can also do some particle tests. Whoops, there we go. And we will do that in a couple of different rooms. One thing I noticed right off the bat was when I turned the power strip on and plug the unit into my power meter, it uses 1 watt of standby power. So without the unit actually doing anything whatsoever, you know, the fan isn't spinning here, it uses just a tiny little bit of power. It's pretty insignificant, but it's there. All right, so I noticed that right here you have 2 choices for speeds. Of course, you know, one's off, the other one is maximum, but it says 2H, 2 hours maximum. So if you really want to clean your air, disinfect your air at the highest possible level, that seems to indicate there's a 2-hour limit. And then right here it says 24H minimum. So at low speed, when the fan's spinning at low speed, it looks like this thing can run 24/7. The UVC light just runs all the time. There isn't a high power or low power option in there. And it does say down in here, UVC lamp inside. All right, so let's see what it sounds like and how much power it uses. So when you first push the button, looks like it starts out on its maximum speed. All right, you see the power usage. So it was rated at, from the factory, 38 watts, but I'm seeing 46.4 watts. Let me take a look at the rest of everything here. We're at 123 volts under load. The current is almost 400 milliamps. You can see the power factor down here. But yeah, that's using more power than the factory claims. So we're at 47.2 watts. Get that glare out of there. And it's rated at 38. Okay, so let's turn it down to its continuous mode. And of course, that generated some noise as well. Okay, this is much quieter. And that only drops us down to about 42 watts. So that's not a whole lot of power. It's not going to make all that much difference in your electric bill. But it is higher than what the factory rates. All right, let's do a sound level test. Going to start out in its loudest position. I'm about 12 inches away. Okay, that's close enough to 58 dBA at 1 foot. And I would say about 50 decibels, just 50 dBA at the same 1 foot on its lowest, quietest mode. Let's take a look at the UVC light bleed from the bottom of the unit. Turn on its highest power setting. Okay, it's coming up to speed. And now I will turn the light off. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty minimal. We're completely in the dark down here. There's low power. And then there's off. How about some particle tests with my HT 9600 particle counter? Now my basement is actually fairly clean at this point in time. It normally is around this time of the year. I'm performing these tests in November. Let's see, get that thing to focus. For those people who are unfamiliar with particle testing, you have 3 different sets of numbers. This is a 3-channel meter. You have the finest particles, the 0.3, and then you have 2.5 and then 10 micrometer particles. I have MERV7 filtration, that's MERV and the number 7 after it. It's not particularly high end or low end, but we do have a pretty good particle count at this point in time. And I definitely have not been running the Cleantech. That's just how clean my basement is at the moment. Okay, so that's what our baseline particle count is. So now, let's turn the Cleantech onto its maximum setting. That's the 2-hour mode. And I'm going to rerun this. And through the magic of editing, I will flip this over so you don't have to watch it upside down. Okay, the first reading will start when it hits the 30-second mark. Okay, there we go. Dropped it down to about 1,000. So this unit does exhaust the clean air straight upwards. Okay, down a little less than 1,000. The 10 and the 2.5 micrometers, still zeros. That's great. All right, 0.3 dropping to a little less than 700. And for the final average reading, we're looking at about 500 or so. Okay, so based on those readings from this meter, I have in the past seen when I have true H11, these readings, well, really the 0.3 specifically is just about 0. I mean, maybe it's 10 or 15 or something like that. But when I have about H10 level filtration, I normally see something between like maybe 500 and 1,000 0.3 micron particles. So I'm going to say I'm not getting H11 at this point in time. I'm saying H10 maybe slightly a little better than H10. I haven't had a chance to do a closed room particle test in quite some time. So there is a playlist of the same name. You can go and look up and see how other vacuums do with the same test. So I have a room that's about, I'm going to say about 10 by 12 square feet, but it's about 900 cubic feet of air. So any vent in here has been actually blocked off, so there's no HVAC. Also, the air gap underneath the door, that's been completely blocked off. So there's just about 900 cubic feet of actual usable air in this room. And the air exchange rate under these conditions is extremely minimal. So let's see what the beginning air quality is. It would be nice if we could focus. There we go. Oh, doesn't seem to want to hold it. Got to do it more in the middle. So I'm going to run the Cleantech on its highest speed for 10 minutes, and we're going to take some measurements over that time, kind of like a before and after test, and we're going to see what the ratio is of before and after particles. We're going to see how much it cleans up the air. Okay, last few seconds. So you can see in general, if you kind of average these numbers, obviously 10 micrometers is 0. If you average the 0.3 and 2.5, you'll see what our starting air quality is. It's very, very good. All right, let's crank up the Cleantech. Maximum speed, and away we go. Okay, turned everything off. And let's see what the final reading is. You can hear the little motor pump running as it samples the air. Okay, so I wouldn't really say a big improvement, but then again, I mean, let's be realistic here. This Cleantech doesn't use that much power. It's not like it's a 500 watt or 1,000 watt air cleaner or vacuum cleaner using a HEPA bag. So I am sure if you let this run for a much longer time frame than 10 minutes, that would probably clean the air down to maybe 300 or 400 particles, 0.3 microns. But as it is, in a 900 cubic foot room over a 10-minute time frame, it doesn't really change the air quality that much. It needs more time. And this is also running, on high speed. On low speed, it will take much longer. Here are the initial conditions of my master bedroom. The air quality is going to be very, very good, very high. We're going to see how well the Cleantech can actually clean the air even further. Obviously, the master bedroom is a large volume of air, but I'm also going to take measurements at multiple distances. All right, almost done. So as you can see, the air quality is very, very good. All right, now I'm going to turn the Cleantech on, and we're going to run it for quite some time. It's been right around 2 hours, and the Cleantech has been running on low speed in my large master bedroom. So how about we go and simulate what a particle count would be, imagining if I had my head on my pillow. Okay, those are the results, and I hope you can hear how loud the Cleantech is at that distance of a couple of feet. Again, this is running on low. Now, as you can see, I'm a much greater distance from the air cleaner, and let's see what the results are. About the same. So the air quality is fairly equal throughout the room. All right, here we are, last set of measurements. We're about 4 hours later. So you can see where we are located. Let's see if we have any improvements. Yep, a little bit. So that's statistically significant, but it took a number of hours to get down to that. Okay, all right, that's nice. So the 10 has always normally been 0. The 2.5 finally has now dropped down to about 0. And the 0.3, instead of like maybe 3 or even maybe high 3,000s, now it's definitely down to 2,000. And for our last measurement, we're going to take it at a distance. And see how far away I am. So let's see what we get. All right, so at a distance, well, it's about the same. So once once the counter gets revved up, we get a few cycles. Yeah, it's about the same. It's going to bounce around a little bit. But the 0.3 is really what I'm looking at here. So we're definitely under 2,000. Okay, so it took 4 hours, but this is running on low, right? You run it on high, it'll clean the air faster, but it will shut off after 2 hours, or maybe it will slow down to the lower speed by default. I'm not too sure. I haven't really done a 2-hour test at high speed. But here's the results at a couple different distances. A special thanks goes out to Cleantech for sending me this particular review unit. It's not a vacuum cleaner, but it certainly cleans and disinfects the air, which I know is important to a lot of people. Now, one thing I really wanted to talk about was the noise it produces. As we found out earlier in the video, this produces, well, somewhat of a significant noise even on its lowest fan speed. And as you hopefully were able to hear, if you were to place this in such an orientation that your head was within a couple of feet of this unit, you might not necessarily be able to sleep in the same room with it. I mean, some people don't have a problem with fan noise, like a white noise. It might not matter a whole lot to you. And on high speed, it definitely, I think, is a little bit too loud. But this is a very lightweight unit. It's a very small, compact unit. I've seen a lot of other air cleaners that are much larger, much bulkier, and much heavier. So this is certainly a welcome improvement. But the noise that it makes, I can't say that it's really appropriate to be in a room where you're going to try to sleep. Although if you put this in a room where you've got pets and people running around, you might not really hear it, because it's not a noise that's particularly annoying. It doesn't have like a tone or a frequency to it. It's just a fan kind of a whoosh. So with that said, links in the description down below if you're interested in purchasing this Cleantech. And normally this is where I would say something like, thanks for watching and happy vacuuming. But this isn't a vacuum cleaner, so I could say thanks for watching and happy air filtering. All right. See you later until the next video. Bye-bye.